Are you a parent that's in your 40s who's been sitting down doing a little reflection and watching time go, watching your kids grow and saying, my gosh, time is flying by? And there are things in your life that you wanted to do, but you have not attempted to do because of prioritizing everyone else? I understand. I understand, and I am here to tell you, take a deep breath, acknowledge that you've done a good job, and understand that as long as you have health, physical ability, and there are still opportunities in whatever the path is that you want to do, you can do it. My name is Natalie Walters, the founder of Reset with Nat, and I encourage parents and educators to take the time to reset for wellness and for purpose. When we do that, we are able to show up as our better self, which we will fall in love with, and it only is a better reflection for our children that we support, whether it's at home or on the job. Today's conversation is just based on a little bit of a conversation that I had with my best friend the other day. You know, sometimes you go through life and you're doing this, doing that, you're setting certain goals, and sometimes the goals that you set are just not at the highest capacity that they should be at. Sometimes it's because of being nervous. Sometimes it's because it's a responsibility that you have to take care of other people. Sometimes it is fear-based, the nervousness, the fear-based, and then also based on the unknown. But I want to encourage you to shoot for the stars. I am going to speak on a little part of my life that I had to reflect on and say, you know what, I'm going to own what happened. I'm going to own how it happened. I'm going to still look at how I've navigated life and commend myself for the journey that I've taken. But now I know there's no more settling. It's always shoot for the stars. I've always heard that. You always hear that, but then sometimes you'll hear it, but then when it's a moment of life experience, it's not something that you do because you're too busy thinking of the now and what's happening now, not recognizing that the now does not last forever. Time is always going. I remember in 2014 when I had gone back to college and my son was maybe 2 or 3 in daycare at the college. And it was a lot. It was a lot to be going to college, having my young son, trying to help him with his development, just trying to hold a family together, looking at how career options were at the time in the city of Ontario and feeling in a place of, yes, I'm trying, but at the same time, I just was not seeing the final destination clearly because there was just too many responsibilities on me. And when we were in the course, there were some students who came back to school to speak to us and let us know, listen, these are the avenues that this course can take you. But if you're in this college program, don't settle. Do not settle. Continue to go to school. Get your degree, get your master's, go further. And to be honest, I mean, being in school for me, it wasn't a thing that I liked. I didn't even really enjoy school when I was in high school, much less being an adult and doing this again and then in a classroom with younger people. That was a whole nother dynamic that was really different for me, but at the same time, I was doing it. And then those students coming and saying those things to me, it was like, okay, this is really great information. I appreciate it and whatnot. So one of myself and one of the other students in the program, we decided, okay, girl, like before this semester ends, we're going to go to the university that we're looking to apply to and have that in-person discussion and whatnot. We went to the university and she was asking about what she needed, what her prerequisites are to get into the program, and then I was doing the same. I wanted to study sociology or psychology or one of those kind of programs, right? I think it was social work at that time. Yes, social work is where I was going there. And they said to me that you need to have a grade 11 math, and it has the mark has to be whatever. Now, I went back to school as a mature student in my 30s because I actually was expelled from high school. And me going back to college in the first place was a big deal because for me to graduate after had been expelled from school, I literally had to go to night school to make up credits to get my diploma. So I was working as a young adult and going to night school to make up the credits for being this student who was expelled from school. And that was a great accomplishment because I managed to make the time for that because it was something that I wanted to have, right? So I wanted to make sure that I at least hit that milestone for myself. And although I had I only took the prerequisite courses that I had to take to get the diploma. And it wasn't mandatory for me to take this grade 11 and have this mark or whatever. Well, years later, now I'm wanting to go to university. They're telling me that the prerequisite is for me to take this math course and yada, yada, yada. And I was just like, oh my gosh, come on. Like, really? So then I said, okay, let me apply to adult learning program and see if I can do an upgrading, whatever. And it actually was 2 courses I had to take. And let me tell you, it was like I had to go through all sorts of stuff to be able to do this. And it was so discouraging. And I was thinking about mothering. I was thinking about everything else. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it. It's okay. I'm not going to go to college. What I'll do is I'll just apply to work as an EA in the school system. And then after that, I'll figure it out. I'll just let my son get a little older and yada, yada, yada. Well, time kept going and I kept applying to jobs in Ontario. And guess what happened? Nothing. So I left and I went to Edmonton. And I did use my skill sets from being a hairdresser to work in Edmonton in a salon because I wanted to network. And I know that the hairdressing, you work in a salon, you're going to meet a lot of people, you're going to have a lot of conversations. So I used some of my old skill sets to let me meet people and then have conversation, which then led me to a job where I was able to use the diploma that I got from Ontario over there. And I got a job working as an EA and I loved it. It was a contract job. After I got that job, it rerouted me and I ended up going through and doing different things because one, sometimes it's like, yeah, you're applying to jobs and you're looking for career, but at the same time, it is what's the pay like? Is the pay good? If it's not good, are you going to stay there or are you going to try to find something better? And I ended up looking for the financial portion over the actual following the path and the journey of the job. Not settled in Edmonton, not liking it, I came back to Ontario and then I started to work outside of the school system for a little bit. I got a job in the school system for a bit. It was not consistent. And then I ended up leaving for a few years. Now, even though I had left for a few years, Reset With Nat was branded throughout that time. And it was focused on me helping parents. It was in the financial sector and just sharing information that I had gained through my life. And just being this person who would just share stories and help to inspire other people to get up and reset and not feel trapped based on your past. Now, all of this is happening and time is going, but at the same time, I'm just doing my thing. I'm trying, believing, I'm being encouraged, I'm feeling good. And guess what? Life leads me back and I get this pause. And the desire to be around the children again was there, heavy. So back into the educational system I went. I took on the role and I looked at that role and I was like so inspired. I was encouraged because it was at a time where I needed a child around me, right? I needed to be with children because I was looking at the fact that my child is growing and I wanted more children, but it didn't pan out the way I wanted, and I'm fine. I'm not saying I need to go and have more children. I'm just saying it didn't pan out, and I wasn't thinking that I was gonna go start all over anymore. It was just like, no, that part of me is not there, and I want to be able to be with kids. I want to be able to help kids. I want to pour into children and still help families. So back into the school system I went. And working with the student that I worked with and the teachers that I worked with, it just felt amazing. It was one of the hardest jobs that I had, but it felt amazing. So what I did was I just said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stick it out. And that summer off is when I created the My Feelings and Me, Confident Hearts, Brave Voices activity book for kids, because it was based on some of my experiences that I noticed. Kids, they would be very vocal, they may be very bold, they may be very rah, 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 but at the same time, they are kind hearts, right? They are brave, they are kind, they are soft, they are confident. But then you have those children who are very shy, very quiet, very reserved. You don't know how to read what's going on. And the thing about it is, on both sides, one needs a little support to help them express themselves, because with them, it looks like isolation, it looks like tears, it looks like I'm being bothered, I'm being bullied. But at the same time, it's like, are you using your voice? Are you letting people know how you feel? Let me help you learn to express your feelings. And then on the other side, it's like, oh gosh, you know what? You are very good at expressing yourself, but at the same time, you have to learn how to use your words. You have to know that, yes, you are brave, but at the same time, you have to still respect your peers, respect your friends, respect other people, so that way people will like you. You can't be mad when you're yelling at people and then they don't want to be around you. It is a part of how you are communicating. So let me teach you things about yourself and how it can highlight the good side of you, but at the same time, not suppress who you are, right? You can be brave and you can be respectful, is basically what it is. And you can be quiet, but then at the same time, you can let people know what you need and how you want to be treated without having to feel any shame. So that's where this book is all about, and it's just done in a fun way. Now, back to time. So this is year 2. Now I'm in the second year, and I gain a position, and I'm here, and I'm working, and I'm thinking, I'm 47 years old. Time has gone by. Oof. Okay, I'm building out the book. I have the Reset for the Kids brand, the arm of the Reset brand that I want to focus on. You know what? What is it going to look like in the next 5-6 years in the classroom? I'm wearing arm guards. I'm wearing a face mask, face shield from being spit on. I'm blocking, I'm dodging, you know what I mean? I have being assertive, having to bring my voice up, bring it down, having to clean up, having to do all of these things, having to bend my poor back. Oh Lord, I'm getting older. This is a lot. So I started thinking about what's the next few years look like. And then on my phone, here comes a memory. The memory comes up and it says, this is you 4 years ago. And when I looked at 4 years ago, I'm like, that just seemed like the other day. Let's go into time and us doing what we need to do. You see, you can do something and go in and just press gas all the way because you have the ability to do so. But if you don't, it's finding out what other options can I slowly take to still get on that journey. So what I looked at was years ago when I was told to go back to school and do this and continue, don't stop. It was really great information. It may not have been the same way that person had done it. I could have still found an alternate way to still achieve my goal. I could have set my timeline and said, okay, typically the school system will say that if I have to go to university or college and I go full time, this is what that's going to look like. And this is how it's going to affect me financially. And this is how much it's going to take up time from family. I don't necessarily want to do that. But what I can do is take the time and go part-time. And I can look at the long run and say, okay, it may take that time, but by this time I'll achieve this goal and I'll have this thing and it will feel great. I didn't do that. It's okay. I didn't do that. But the thing is, me not doing that was my life experience. But I want to encourage you that if you are thinking about something that you've wanted to do and you think I have to get it all done within a certain window in a certain period, please find alternate ways where you can work towards what it is that you want to do, but and giving yourself time. Comparison is the thief of our opportunities. If we're looking at how somebody else did something and thinking that's the way we have to do it, then that's where our problems are. There are always other ways and models to do things. We just have to do our research. What I'm saying to you now is I am sitting here and I'm like, okay, well, this is not where I want to be for the next 10 years. This is not the space that I want to retire out of. I'm going to have to give myself a plan where I can learn, I can work, and I can achieve something within a longer period of time. But at the same time, what I'm thinking is longer really isn't, because if I buckle down and I just let time be and just keep working, all of a sudden I'm going to achieve what it is that I want. I want to encourage you today, and I am working on my plan for myself and what that's going to look like. I want to encourage you today that if you're sitting down and thinking about a plan and you're thinking about where you are in the space that you are living right now, and it seems like it's not going to be conducive to your life schedule, keep researching options and do not let time be a factor of the reason why you don't move forward. Also, if it is income, if it is expenses, if it is responsibilities, research the different ways that you can work towards getting this thing done. I'll even press on a button. I will even press on the topic of impulsivity. I was a person who was very impulsive, and I still kind of have some of that. I think about it and I want to take action, but it's not always necessary to do that. I know they say that in business, yes, get things done. But at the same time, when it comes to a life plan and goals, there's nothing wrong with taking the time to kind of figure things out. My message is to encourage you not to focus on time, but to focus on the ultimate goal that you want to achieve, and researching and looking for ways on how you will be able to accomplish it. Not necessarily being nervous about what life looks like now, but just looking at where you want to be. And this is where I can encourage you to use the reset framework to actually go through the process of figuring that out. And what that is you're going to refocus on what it is that you want to do. You're going to brain dump the benefits, the pros, the cons of the thing that you want to do. And if you know there's more pros than there are cons, you highlight those pros. You make that on one sheet and you have that up in front of you, and you focus on the pros more than the cons. Then you're going to get educated. Who, what, when, where, how, why, how much? How much? What's the minimum time that it can be accomplished in? What's the maximum time that it can be accomplished in? Get all of that figured out. Set up a strategy. So, okay, right now it may look like this for me, and it's going to be a hard no, I can't start now, but in the next 4 months, yes, I can. Or next year, September is when I can start, or whenever. Set up the strategy. How? If you have people in your family that you have to talk to about this new journey, have those conversations. Execute. If you have to apply, if you have to get anything done before you're actually able to move into that new place, get it done. Start. And then wait, and you'll see different things unfold and transform. This is not a message of me feeling horrible about how my journey of life has gone, because honestly and truly, somebody has to go through something to be able to share with others, right? And to be honest, I have accomplished a lot, and I've come a long way, and I do take chances. But at the same time, I recognize that my intention is to continue to just all the way, go all the way in whatever area or focus it is that I desire to be in. I need to look at the top and then figure out in between how I'm going to get there. Not worrying about where I am now, just being able to know that I press that reset button to make the move towards that process, that journey. If you are not on my Instagram page at Reset with Nat, or on TikTok at Reset with Nat, where I share more daily short form content, follow me there. And here on YouTube, I'm gonna try to keep making longer form videos, because it is very important. One, it's accountability to myself and the mission that I have for my channel. I want to have the engagement, I want to have the conversation, I want to build the community, and I want to encourage other people to just know that a reset for you is as possible as it needs to be. You just have to focus and get it done. If you're not subscribed to the Reset with Nat channel, go ahead and subscribe, like, share, comment. I'd love to hear from you. What have you pressed the reset on and you're ready to activate for not just the new year? This is about life plans. This is not just about, ooh, new year, new me. Nah, this is life, right? So if you have something that you're working on and you care to share, go ahead and leave it in the comments. If you're just saying, you know what, I understand, I'm on the same journey, high five, girl, I encourage you. Well, I encourage you just like you're encouraging me. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get updates on when I share the next video. My name is Natalie Walters, the founder of Reset with Nat. Thank you for watching.